Greenwashing is the act of falsely marketing a product to appear environmentally friendly or sustainable in order to make consumers think they are making an ethical choice. Examples of greenwashing include changing logos to be green, claiming a product has been proven to be environmentally friendly but failing to provide the sources, or using flashy slogans like radical transparency. Starbucks claims to be a conscious and environmentally friendly corporation. The company is currently making one change worth mentioning. It is the attempt in removing single-use straws from most of their drinks. Problem-solving on the surface, but after researching it further, it is discovered it takes more plastic to make a Starbucks strawless lid than the original lid and plastic straw combined. Another example of greenwashing can be seen in the fashion industry. Most fast fashion brands like H&M, Zara, and Uniqlo make claims of sustainability. Even brands popular in the sustainable fashion community like Everlane do this. These brands all make claims of sustainability but fail to prove that their claims are true. Greenwashing can also be seen in the auto industry. Volkswagen is guilty of greenwashing as they cheated emission tests by fitting vehicles with defect devices that would detect when vehicles are going through emission tests and alter the vehicle's performance to make it appear more eco-friendly. Now we're going to talk about greenwashing in architecture. Buildings produce 39% of world carbon emissions. Breaking that down, 11% comes from construction and 28% from operational use. As environmentalism becomes more popular, companies want to look green without putting in the work, and so they turn to greenwashing. The industry needs to work towards reducing the carbon footprint of buildings and acknowledge the environmental impacts of architecture. New construction is expected to double the world's total number of buildings, referred to as building stock, by 2060. While a majority of emissions are from the operation of a building, a substantial amount of carbon emissions come from the manufacturing of material, construction, maintenance, and renovation of buildings. The carbon costs of these processes are what is known as upfront carbon or embodied carbon. This embodied carbon is expected to be responsible for half the total number of carbon emissions from now until 2050. The materials used for the construction of buildings come at various costs to the environment. For example, the global impacts of different building materials with the highest greenhouse gas emissions are steel at 29%, bricks at 15%, concrete at 12%, and wood at 6%. In architecture, greenwashing can be seen in green roofs, skyscrapers covered in greenery, or even renderings of projects showing an abundance of vegetation. These examples aim to imply a building is environmentally conscious, when in reality it is only surface level. This language and imagery can be used by projects that are actually environmentally conscious. However, it can just as easily be used by those that are not. The Inara Tower project of Dubai is a perfect example of greenwashing due to its false appearance as an operating wind turbine. The project is currently budgeting and seeking accreditation for LEED Silver status, but does not express actual functionality of the turbine. Efforts hyper-focused solely on aesthetics miss the mark on the way a building functions in the environment. Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, known as LEED, is the most widely used green building rating system in the world. This system has different levels of certification. However, not everyone knows this. This can result in the minimum rating being disproportionately incentivized for projects that only want to tout a LEED certification to the layperson, rather than genuine environmentalism. LEED minimums should be increased so projects have to achieve higher environmental standards in order to reach certification. On top of this, once a project is awarded a LEED certification, it does not need to reapply or certify that it is keeping up to standards, and it is very rare for a certification to be revoked. This means that a building can initially meet the standards and later regress while keeping the coveted certification. LEED should require continuous evaluations to ensure standards are kept. The architecture community's attempt in lessening its impact on the environment is just the beginning of what needs to be done for the continued existence of humanity. The bar for sustainability in Earth stewardship needs to increase exponentially over time to keep up with the growing effects of climate change and carbon emissions. As architecture students, we can make a difference by being conscious of the materials, certification, and designing practices in our future careers. Collectively, we can organize and find further solutions to the current efforts opposing climate change. There is no such thing as a perfect environmentalist, but as we work together imperfectly towards a true solution, our efforts will only complement our amazing predecessors.